further development by Elon Musk's Tesla Inc. is sparking concerns around job security.
This is not financial advice, silly.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Turned up to work and went to start my day. Was barely late, like 9:08. So took my coffee break. Then I got hungry, so I just stopped by the free buffet. But then to my dismay, I heard somebody say, "Attention humans, you have lost, you have not met your quota. Pack your belongings in a box, now it's over." Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. But I'm in management. I work hard every day. I need these benefits, health and 401k. How could they do this shit though? Where will I trade my crypto? I had a second monitor for Twitter, where will it go? Somebody please stop the bus, I mean not the fuss, but there's lots of us. And now you say you won't pay me to play ping pong because Optimus. I mean, who employs a damn humanoid? Some new droid for you to exploit, deploy to destroy your human droid. No lunch breaks, great, get a few deployed. Your time is up, human inferior to me. I'll take it from here, you're relieved of your duty. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. It's okay, human, please don't cry. You can always go and become a Twitter thread guy. Make pretty pictures with Midjourney on your new PC. Or make some YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Sucker. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. I mean, I didn't even write this song. I just used ChatGPT because it's way easier. Holy shit. We are so doomed. Robot just stole my job. Robot just stole my job.
Hello, everybody. I just want to start this off with, I am super tired today. I didn't get a lot of sleep with the whole Trump thing yesterday, and then just a bunch of tweeting and posting, whatever, nowadays on X. So we'll see how long I make it. I'm probably not doing stock requests. I just want to be straight up with you guys. Really tired. We're going to do this a little bit differently today. If anybody likes political satire, I made a video earlier talking about how great Kamala Harris is. I think especially if you're conservative, you'll probably enjoy it. If you're not, you might not. You might find it offensive. But it's a test. It's a test in human psychology and the algorithm and YouTube, whether malicious or not, trying to figure out how it thinks. So far, I am monetized on my video. It's the first out of 5 videos that I posted where I got monetized out of the gate. The other 4 referenced Donald Trump. And Kamala and Tim Walz in negative ways, like Donald Trump in a good way and them in a bad way. So I did all the same stuff, my usual vulgarities and all the rest. But it's very fascinating that I'm actually still monetized. We'll see if that lasts. I did dispute a bunch of the others, and they seem to have started paying me on a few of them. I don't know why, but I'll take it. It's very interesting. But oh my gosh, you guys have posted a few things on here. I'll try and get caught up in chat. But anyway, I think it's a great day today, right? Let's just start off with Tesla. Crushing it. There's a lot of stuff going on with Tesla. I told you, Tesla is a reflection of Elon Musk and what's going on with his companies. I mean, that's the price right now, right? It's the only publicly traded thing. So if the bad guys shit all over Elon Musk, the price of Tesla is going to go down if they could convince enough people or at least get the algos to move, right? So you got that. And again, it is what it is. And that's what's going to happen. And today, we got a lot of good news, I think, on Tesla. And we're above the 200 moving average that we have in orange here. We haven't quite tested up to the 50 moving average. But it's a good sign that we broke up. I think I said that, right? I think I said, hey, this looks like something that should break down, but it could totally break up. And that's what it's doing. And this is actually a good sign right now. And just the angle that we're looking at, it was a nice clean break. It's hitting resistance if we look at the 4-hour, at least trying to test up to the 50. That's cool. I think this is a good move. This is a solid move. Now, it could still roll over, but the velocity of the upside, I think, is very positive. So I'm looking forward to more of that. And what was some of the news that got us there, right? Well, let's look at the craziness that surrounds Elon Musk right now. Today is very much going to be a Tesla, Elon Musk, everything that encompasses him, and including Donald Trump. So let's just run through it as quickly as we can. The UAW is suing Elon Musk. We'll show a couple of slides on this one. This one just says they steal from their own people, and he's referencing actually the president who is under investigation. He says also the previous union's president's, or I'm sorry, maybe it was the one before this, daughter was living in a union-paid home. But I'm pretty sure, and correct me if I'm wrong in chat, guys, I think he is actually being sued right now too, the current president, for misappropriation or something like that. If I'm wrong about that, let me know. But I'm pretty sure. Now we have Elon. I just gotta say this, guys. There's nothing fucking cuter in this world to me. I mean, outside of like cute little kids. Anyway, or maybe a puppy or a cat or something. But then May Musk, in her message, that's 22 seconds long. I'll just let her talk to it.
I'm happy to say that SpaceX and Tesla are in the hands of my brilliant son. Well, genius son. We admire him for that. We don't want to be him. Because with those companies, he gets a lot of hate. Stop being mean to him. I hate it when the media are mean to him. I'm happy to.
I love her so much. Sticking up for her little guy still. I mean, it's just such a true testament to parenting. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, back on track. 15,500 Teslas were insured in China in the last week. The best week so far for any Q3 in China. That's a beautiful testament, I think, to the organization over there. Tesla China, or Tesla Asia to be more appropriate, is great. These people work so hard for what they do. It's really awesome, and yeah, it's just really cool to see. They do a great job from managing the incentive structure, to working with the local governments, to working with the head of the government, to trying to make things happen. It's one of the few companies that's really doing things well, and they don't have a partnership agreement with like a local business to be there. They never had that. All of Legacy Auto had that, and virtually every company that's in China has that, but not Tesla. It's just a testament to how well they're managed. It's really impressive. And I'm actually going to start using this as a narrative when I have conversations with people and they talk about the Cybertruck, whether they like it or hate it. Because you get a lot of conversations, whether it's the middle finger or whether it's that's so cool, or everything in between. So I think next time in the dialogue with people, I'll definitely make note of the fact that it's the most American-made car, at least the Model Y is, in America over all the Ford stuff. They're built more tough, honestly, especially the Cybertruck, and they're more American-made. I remember when Ford used to be that, but that's just not anymore. Now is it? On that narrative, the Tesla is the most American-made vehicle on U.S. soil. Don't let others tell you otherwise. I love that image right there. I think it's really beautiful. It's kind of symbolic to the shift that Elon has taken politically, and then just how that's reflecting his companies. I just think it's really cool. UAW. Again, let's talk about the UAW. So not only are we looking at the president dealing with all these problems, but we're looking at how badly union membership has struggled since the 80s, right? Since really Ronald Reagan was probably like the big change in all that. He did a bunch of deregulation, a lot of stuff in farming. Some people hate him, especially if you were liberal back then. Other people love him and think he transformed the economy and made it into the stronger capitalistic state it is from where we kind of fell off in the 60s and 70s. But look at unions. You can see why these people are bitter. They've seen a halving of memberships from 1983 to 2022. We would be lucky to see Elon Musk in the Government Efficiency Council for Donald Trump. Again, I know some people hate my politics, but you're going to have to deal with them because it ties in with my thesis for investing, and it should tie into yours. So I think I listened to Farzad and Hans talk about this on Farzad's channel last night late. And Hans, I think, gave Farzad the realization that what just happened last night, where with Elon Musk and Trump, just upped the ante significantly for Elon Musk in regard to the level of hate that he's going to get from the left. I think some of this was represented from a friend of mine. I like to call him a friend. I actually never met him, but we chatted a few times online. But Dylan Loomis, with a YouTube channel called Electrified, he's got like half of his followers that are mad at him because he covered the Trump interview and gave any commentary whatsoever in regard to it. And it's so odd because he's like one of the chillest humans. He's like Farzad and Hans, if you know these people. He's just such a chill, cool dude, and way more chill than I am, right? But just a better person in regard to being able to just, you know, stay well mannered and control his emotions, and it's just it's sad that there's so much venom coming out. But I think it's probably good to air all the dirty laundry, and I think it's also so. I think let me cover a couple of points that I think are really crucial if you're invested in Tesla. Okay, and you guys tell me what you think in chat. Definitely, always, but I think that Elon Musk will take a lot more heat. I think that Tesla, if Trump isn't elected, will get constantly judicially challenged by the left, more so than they've already done. Not just Tesla, obviously, SpaceX. Every company that Elon owns will be under increased regulatory governmental scrutiny, especially X. We might lose X. That's my feeling behind it. If there's enough power given to Kamala Harris, if she were to win, I don't think she's going to. But I think you have to talk to both sides so that people know what the dangers might be. And so I think we'll see a lot of that. And if you're curious about why I think that, I won't go into all the details here, but just check out my political videos. And I do more than enough clarifying why. Okay. But I just want to say, so here's my interpretation. This is how I'm looking at this as an investment thesis. Trump wins, Tesla go up. Trump loses, Tesla go down. Now that will probably happen before the election, and it will get priced in beforehand because that's how markets look, right? So right now, I think it might not be right now, but if we see that any hint that we're seeing that venom, and just from some of the stuff coming out of the campaign last night about Elon Musk attacking him for being a billionaire, and just a slew of other reasons. I think that if we see more indication like that they're going to be attacked after, and Kamala is doing really well in the polls after the DNC finishes up, it starts like on the 19th in about 6 days. Then I think that's how it plays out, and you can hold me to it and tell me that I'm wrong. You won't be able to because I'll be right. Micro to macro. Oh, this guy again. What will real Donald Trump and Elon Musk be doing in 2025? So this is the opposite, okay? If Trump wins, I think that what we've heard about, you know, the council or whatever of efficiency, that Elon Musk would definitely be a part of that. And he is probably more well measured than Milei in Argentina. But you could see how Milei communicated which departments of the government will be gone. I'm just going to play it for a second. I'm going to play this for a second because you just got to hear it. Oh, if it'll play. Let me see here.
Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Ministerio.
And then he just like grabs another one. Doesn't even say the fucking name of it. Just throws it out too. You're going to fuck it. I think this is what happens. I think the partnership that you would see between Elon and Trump would probably be pretty great. Because just the amount of people that have seen this video is insane. The interview, I mean, is insane. It's crazy. We're going to see that a little bit below here. Oh, right here. This is nuts. So this is as of 4 hours ago. What is that number even? 183,600,000 impressions, 91,000 bookmarks, 590,000 likes, 150,000 reposts, 324,000 comments, over 1 billion views. Actually, what does this say? 24 million plays. I don't know what plays means. But I know there's 1 billion views now on it, so I don't know what the technical difference between those are. But again, this is monumental. And I think it also marks, and I'll stop here with a lot of the political stuff. I think, though, it does mark a time where we're seeing a shift in the future this kind of format is going to be everywhere. And I actually hope, so Elon Musk did offer up the same format to Kamala Harris. I don't personally like her very much, but I would like to hear what she has to say. So I hope she accepts, but I really doubt she's going to. But I think everybody should want her to, right? I don't know. You Democrats tell me what you think, but when I was voting Democrat, I still wanted to know what the policies of the people were, and I wanted to have dialogue back and forth instead of just name calling and comparing sizes of audiences and things that the left and right are both really good at. All right. Elon Musk said a tremendous amount of growth and opportunity would be created by deregulation and a reduction of wasteful government spending. I agree with that. And again, I think, so I look at it with, if you want Tesla to do good and you believe you can look at the core values of what Trump represents, then you should vote Trump. If you believe in the core values of Kamala, you should vote that way too, right? I hope to God people that live in America and that love freedom and love capitalism and love what Elon's built and have respect for what he's built and understand that he wants the best for humanity would vote to help him accomplish these goals, personally. But you do you. All right, Tesla FSD 12.5.1.3. Alex was just talking about 40 minutes of autonomous driving. I like Alex. I think he's more liberal in nature, but he's still like, you can talk to him about stuff, and that's good. I think the more of us that can talk between, the conservative side and the liberal side, the better it is. It is weird, real quickly, and again, we'll get through Tesla, and then we'll get to the macro stuff, and then Bitcoin, and then the rest. But it is weird that when I bought my Model Y a little over 4 years ago, all the people that hated me were on the right. I would get coal rolled, and I had all these things happen, right? And they were just venomous, right? But now it seems to be just as bad with people on the left. They seem to be even more judgmental. Now that I have my Cybertruck and Elon has shifted, why or the Cybertruck, it's just like people look around like, oh, are you one of those Elon followers that shifted sides? It's just weird. But he's not one of them, and I praise that. I praise communication. But they were talking about 40-minute autonomous drive using the latest version, the 12.5.1.3, through the toughest downtowns in North America, Boston and its north end, and zero disengagements. It runs like butter. It acts like a chauffeur. No interventions or disengagements for the video. And there's so many of these experiences. I think Elon said that we were at 500 to 600 miles without interventions right now, which is just crazy. Okay, it's just nuts. Anyway, let me get caught up on chat too. I haven't done a good job with that, so I'm gonna kind of hop over here. I'm sure I'm pissing off a bunch of liberals, but whatever. Silas, ETN, please. Yeah, I won't be doing anything today, guys. I don't know if I said that already. I thought it in my head, and I think I typed it out. I'm gonna be. I'll do that tomorrow, but I need rest this afternoon. I need to spend time with my family. Dave Robinson, hey man, if you have time, would you check out a company called? Yes, so that's gonna be a no. But next time. And then Justin, Jesse, one more question. How precise do gap fills need to be? Watching yesterday's recap now, and you said Palantir closed the gap. And yeah, it doesn't have to be super precise. It's just like you can see that an attempt was made, right? Like you really, really came close to it. It's closed, whatever. Because all it is an oscillation thing, like we've talked about before. When you have like big moves up, you get big moves down. And so it just means, hey, the gap's closed. Doesn't really have to go much higher because it was just right at the neck of it. And then it could roll over. So that's all that meant. And how is Palantir doing today? Up 3.44. Looks good. And again, so the thing you have to weigh is there's this divergence where this thing's trying to go up, but the MACD was going down, and I don't even have it pulled up right now. The RSI was too for a while, and kind of still is here if you do something like this. When you look at the peak of the peak and then kind of turn it down, you could see how you still have a divergence here if I'd colored it red, right? But it doesn't have to. It can keep going up. Here's the thing: the fundamentals of Palantir could still be so good that it keeps going higher. Maybe it hits the all-time high in the 40s. It could do that. Why not? It's honestly a way better company now than it was when it was way overpriced back in January of 2021. That price ruined people as the price fell. And I literally, one dude I remember lost his mind and was yelling at me for buying right here. So right over in this corner here. around the May timeframe or April timeframe, like right over here. But he was also playing videos with his dick out. So I don't know, man. Again, some people can't be in this game and they put everything in one basket and it destroys them. I would highly encourage everybody to be diversified and not go down that path. Anyway, let's get through Tesla. We'll try and move fast. Brussels accused, this is just another thing. Again, Elon Musk, it all matters, has accused its internal market commissioner of going rogue by sending that letter to Elon Musk threatening punishment if X had the interview yesterday and didn't censor Trump. He said on social media site X was found to place EU citizens at risk of serious harm. It says Thierry Breton, the French commissioner, had posted, again, like a communication liaison from the European Commission, a warning letter on X, the platform owned by Musk, hours before the billionaire interviewed U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump, also on X. So if you guys didn't see that, I imagine you did. But it's craziness, and it's a good thing that they're starting to go after this guy. I don't know what it actually means. Will they do anything? Probably not, but it's good. X. So I've had people that are loyal to X, and Elon Musk and everything else that seem to think that X isn't doing well. And I just want to clarify, that is not true. X.com saw an increase of 13 million unique visitors compared to the previous month. So just this month, 13 million new people. Whoa, what was that? It's got an alert or something in my earbuds. I don't know if you guys heard that. But anyway, 13 million unique visitors. And Trump just alone yesterday, I noticed, got 1 million new follows just in like a 24-hour time frame, which is crazy. It probably wasn't even 24 hours. So X is very successful. That's the thing I want to get out there, is for people to understand. It's the #1 news app in like 139 countries. Is it as big as Meta and WhatsApp and Instagram all combined, like all the Meta platform, Facebook, like all this shit combined, right? No, but do you expect it to be right now? I mean, it's growing by 13 million in a month. Is that not enough? Anyway, Linda Yaccarino, the CEO of X, said no small group should be able to monopolize what gets monetized. This is an important acknowledgement and necessary step in the right direction. I'm hopeful that it means ecosystem-wide reform is coming. Just talking about that previous Global Alliance for Responsible Media and the fact that they were in their sub-organization or whatever, where they were suing, or they were basically working hard to prevent X from getting a whole bunch of advertising dollars, and they were doing that successfully. And then X threatened to sue them, and now they just dissolved. So that's good. All these things are good, right? 100 disagree. The Democrats declared war on Elon. Oh, so this is Warren Redlick. He was talking about how the Democrats declared war on Elon in 2020 and have continuously intensified their attacks. And if Kamala wins, it's likely they'll go after Elon hard. Again, I'm just not the only person. I'm not the only person that follows Tesla that feels this way. That this will be happening, and I'm usually pretty right with stuff. I think that's it for Tesla. Let's move on. We did our part here. Let's go back. Let's look at U.S. economy stuff, and then I'll try and get caught up a little bit. Gary Curate, Jesse, given the political undertone, how should we play Tesla 330 calls? I'm kind of mad at myself for not taking my capital out last month. Yeah, I took like 350,000 out or something. So I got all my initial value out. And right now today, oh God, I didn't even put this over, and I told myself I was going to. Maybe I'll slide it over. Don't look at my account number. Close your fucking eyes. All right, I'm kidding. Sorry, no sleep. Let me just see. I'll pull this up real quick and we can look at it, because I haven't really done that well. Plus, I think I made money today, so it's less depressing to look at. Yeah, a little bit. 160,000 maybe across all accounts. Let me see. I'm gonna try and bring this over, and then yeah, I'll have to do this. All right. Nope, don't look at that. All right, let me do this. I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. So. And let's see, what were you talking about? Which one? Tesla 330s. Yeah, so here's Tesla down here. So I'm up about 40% on mine. So it's not great. It's only like, between both accounts, it's probably like $200,000. That's not great, but I did lock in 350, so that's pretty good. And then I was able to buy the dip, and I think I still have like 25,000 left to buy the dip. But for the most part, things are looking pretty good. These shitty DLO and Flux things, I don't know. They're still down at, well, I guess DLO is down the most. Flux is okay. That's the recommendation from Rex. But otherwise, I'm doing all right. Again, the Bitcoin-related stuff got hit hard, but I bought into that dip. I bought Tesla on the way down too. Maybe that's why I'm doing better than some people. And actually, PayPal is shocking at only being down by 57% because it means between all of my accounts, I'm probably only down about half, which is shocking if you know the path that we've taken on PayPal. I've been wrong for over a year and a half on these calls. The 2025s are probably toast. I mean, they're only 17 grand, right? But I was smart enough to start purchasing 2026s, even though I never sold the 20. Look at this, I got 4,300 fucking contracts. Now, I will be having the last laugh on this if, and we'll go into macro in a second, guys. I will have the last laugh if we do get some shoots on PayPal and really start to take off. This is looking bullish. And I got to say, if we do this again tomorrow, I'm getting excited because when we look at PayPal here, and I've got some other notes on PayPal I want to talk about, just some stuff from my buddy Crossroads and a few others, probably mostly Crossroads. Here's what I like. So if we go back here, this trend that started kind of in April, we broke up above this for 1 week and then just couldn't do it again the next week. So really what we need to see is a couple of weeks, like 2 good weeks where we can get maybe to 68, but stay up in this range above this trend line. Or if we now become more conservative on this, one second here. If I click on this and then just draw this higher now, because again, we did kind of go above it. So let's just say that resistance right now is here. That's kind of what I do when I have trend line resistances and supports. I try to push them out to their absolute max, kind of, where we have like not just a wick like here, here, and here, but where we have full body candles. And so I'd be interested to see if the week can close above this line now that I've moved it. And then can it hold that for another week? That would be amazing. It'll be a really bullish sign. But if you just look at this over these weeks, this looks sick. This looks good. This wick up and then straight down looks a little scary, but the continuation is what tells me there's strength here. And I love that. That's great. So anyway, let's go back. We're going to look at economic stuff. Let's check a few things real quick. Let's look at the CNN Fear and Greed Index for stocks. And then extreme fear. Oh, is it really? Did I refresh that? I hope it's extreme fear. Oh my God, we're still in extreme fear. I love that so much. You don't even know. We only went up 2 points and I'm up like 150,000 on the day. I like that. That's the right direction. Now, let's see where we are for the Fear and Greed Index in crypto. It's getting a little better. We're in fear now. We're at 31. That's okay. Let's see. And also, we had PPI data. We'll cover that in a second. It was good. The core, at least. So we'll look at that in a second here. Now, September 18th, again, that meeting is only a little over 4 weeks away. And actually, it's interesting. We've switched. So we've actually went up a little bit on a 2 rate cut instead of 1. That's interesting. We'll see if that trend continues over the next 4 weeks. I think eventually, and I've said this for a while, I think we'll be at just 1 cut by the time September comes around. And I think that's because it'll be a good thing, right? Let's look real quickly. I never take a look at commodities, but how are they doing today? Not great. Not bad on the week. Steel. Steel continues to drop. That's fascinating. This isn't hardened steel. This isn't like a high density steel like the stuff in skyscrapers. This is just regular steel. That's how much? We're at the lowest levels we've been at since 2016. That's kind of shocking. And I think that points to a major slowdown in China and just other parts of the world. This is the CNY per ton, right? So that's kind of fascinating. I think we're going to see more trends like that. I'm probably going to look at a bunch of commodities and look at their charts, see if I can give an update on kind of what I'm seeing for inflation, and then like a bunch of other inflation type metrics to see if I can point, a really clear picture. Now, let's talk about the PPI real quick. So the core PPI year over year for July was a good number. And actually, look at this. The NFIB Business Optimism Index had its highest number, and let's see what time frame here. Highest read since roughly February, March of 2022. So we're looking at a 2.5-year high in business optimism. That is not usually something you see right before an economic collapse. Just to be clear, if anything, like we were looking at with, forward EPS guidance and earnings yesterday, if anything, it sounds like this stuff could go on for a while and we could have a melt up, which is what I've been saying for a while. So again, kind of fascinating. But let's look at core PPI. Well, no, we already did that. Let's look at PPI month over month. So this was only 0.1% too. So, and I should say this. So our actual was 2.4% on core PPI year over year. The consensus was 2.7 and the forecast was 3. So we came in pretty good. And then again, PPI month over month was only 0.1 when it was forecast at 0.1, and then the consensus was 0.2. So that did all right too. I don't think that gives us much signal. I like the year over year stuff the most. Let's just look here. So PPI for July, that might give a little better signal. I mean, we're going up at a decent pace. We're not going up at the levels we were in 2020, but we shouldn't be. If anything, if you look here, we're kind of going up at an even more aggressive rate than we were. It's like accelerating. If you look at this 2010 range, you can see the slope of that is pretty good, but it's not as up as the 2016 to 19 range. And then this is just insane. So it's just interesting that producer prices are reflecting rampening that we're seeing in inflation. This is also what we're seeing for asset values and for Bitcoin, and with a multiplier. So it's just it's a fascinating look. But so I expect this to continue to go up, but probably at a fairly maintained pace for a while. And then if you look at PPI X food and energy and trade, this is where the number gets hot. This is the only reason the number gets hot, which food, energy, and trade are a lot of categories within the PPI. And again, energy is a base cost. So kind of like, it's weird when you just take this out completely, but you can see that this came in a little hotter and it's showing potentially a reacceleration. We'll see if it rolls over. I don't know. We'll see. So Redbook year over year, 4.7%. The previous was 5.1%. This deals with retail sales for like a survey of the, like roughly it's supposed to have an 80% accuracy for like the top 7,000 retailers in the nation. And so it's showing a slightly lower number than it had in the previous months. So again, a slowing down, one would say, in retail. All right, there's that. Let me get caught up with chat again. Let me look at some stuff. Those are FNCC beeps. They're testing the system. Thanks, Silas. Albert, let's hope PayPal will lose an N soon, or PayPal. Oh, so you were like doing PAIN, pal. Yeah, I hope so too, dude. Albert, thanks for the info. Silas, Michael Myers, DLO earnings tomorrow after close. I should probably do those. I should probably do that. I didn't do it last time, and I don't even think I followed up on it. I should probably do that just for the people, because I did make a members only video, so I shouldn't be a dick, even though it's like 0.3% or less of my portfolio or something. I'll still do one. And this was just that. We don't need that. Let's see here. That was what we talked about with gold yesterday. I think that's it. I think that's all I got really for the economic. Oh, up here. My bad. All right, I'm back in it. And this does not count. Atlanta Fed's Bostic on rate cuts. This is Nick Tamaros, Nicky Leaks, that Kevin likes to call him. He said, I'm willing to wait, but it's coming. I want to see a little more data. We need to make sure the trend is real. We want to absolutely be sure. It would be really bad if we started cutting rates and we had to turn around and raise them again. And he's right. That would be bad. And we are seeing some indication. Again, inflation will be hard to completely get rid of just because of the effects. You are hearing beeps. Okay. That must be an alert that I have triggered. Are they loud? Shit. Let me see. And the problem is I can't even see them. There's nothing actually coming up. Let me see if it's coming up on my phone real quick, guys. One sec. Let me see if I can kill it on here. There are alerts. Let me see what they are. I'm going to see if I can get it on my phone to where I can kill it. Shit, it didn't. It lost them. I'll try and see if I can get it to come up if it comes up again here so that you guys aren't getting beeped super loud. I apologize. Now that the market's closed, theoretically, they should die down. But here, let's take a look. So we did Tesla. We did some macro stuff. Let's take a look real quickly at our Bitcoin category. And then we can just roll through the rest of these. All right. So I said, I'm sure they do. Okay, so let's see here. So somebody said in a post, oh, here, let me actually expand. I'll do this. Let me zoom in just a hair. Somebody said, hey, Jesse, Clean Spark and Cypher are feeling really heavy, relative weak. Is it keeping down by overhead supply from the recent pullback? I said, I'm sure they do feel heavy. It's been a rough 2024 for Bitcoin miners, but I do believe strongly that we're headed a lot higher here soon. And I said, I mean, if Kamala doesn't get elected, if she does, I'm not sure how bad it gets for Bitcoin over the next year. So it really, this comment needs to be prefaced. Ooh, there it went off. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, fuck, where'd it go? Hold up one, guys. All right, if I can get this pulled up, I'll delete it so it won't happen again. But this has to be prefaced with the fact that we don't know totally the platform for Kamala, and so we need to understand it. So the convention is going to be very important, and I'll be following that. Shit, I still can't. I think it was Bitcoin. Let me just see. I need to take note of which one it is so I can turn it off. Yeah, I think it is Bitcoin. 1 sec. Let me fix this. Yeah, it's that. Cool. This should get rid of the beep, guys. Sorry about that. I don't want to deafen you guys. All right. So, yeah. So anyway, but this is prefaced on if she doesn't have anything that is even remotely favorable or does not mention during the Democratic National Convention and her policies that she is for Bitcoin and crypto, then I think we're going to see if her polls look strong in the DNCs, like over the next several weeks, or I should say the next week and a half as the DNC starts up and then it goes on, we could see maybe more pain in the Bitcoin sector, just a further grind. It doesn't have to, but I do think that that's possible because, again, she needs to reflect something positive. Even if it's a lie, she just needs to do it so that the Bitcoin community isn't judging the polls and then saying, if Kamala gets elected, this is not going to be good for crypto. We'll still have Operation Choke Point. There'll be stuff that's scary that's still going on. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And then this one, Alex Thorne, and this is kind of long, but it's new evidence that Kamala Harris will continue crypto crackdown. Her advisor choices suggest she will keep Biden's hostile attitude towards crypto. Harris is working with Brian Deese and Bharat Ramamurthy, two key anti-crypto officials in the Biden administration, and then he goes into a thread about it. But it sounds to me like we're not letting up on Choke Point 2.0 at all. They're still cracking down in the crypto industry, and that the people that she's appointed are those same people that are cracking down on it. So again, if you're pro Bitcoin and crypto and liberal and you're going to vote for Kamala, just realize it's like grabbing a sword and shoving it into your stomach. So I don't know. It's probably not a smart idea from a financial investment standpoint. My 2 cents. We already saw this one yesterday. So that's all good. I think that's a lot for the Bitcoin stuff. Let's look at the price real quick since we had that pulled up. We'll run through stocks real fast. I do want to pull up some things on PayPal too and just talk to it. And I did adjust this yesterday because I don't know if I did, but I want to adjust this. I'm actually going to do this. So like I said, sometimes I move things because I want to establish whether or not we're under existing resistance and support. So I'm going to feel better when we get above this and try and turn it into support because, again, we got above it, but we couldn't hold it. And that's just on the 1 hour. Let's check the 4. This is probably a better. Yeah, no, that's still good. So again, here, can we get above this? Can we get above this later in the day at 7 o'clock on the close for Bitcoin? And because it doesn't close at 3 o'clock Central Time like the stock market, it goes all the time, and so the day resets at different times. So can we get above this and be in like the 61 range? That would be cool if we can do that. Yeah, I think it's representative that we're going to continue this breakout. So I like that. MicroStrategy. Thank you to everybody who's here, as always, too. I know that I'm getting more political. I'm probably alienating people, and I apologize to the people I have alienated, unless you're a dipshit, which some of you probably are. But to the ones who aren't, you guys, you're the ones I'm apologizing to. MicroStrategy, good day, up 3%. Again, I said before, this was such a strong bounce off this previous fib. But yeah, so it looks good. This looks solid. And I don't even know what I need to start. I need to get It's running at a premium. I think it's close to 2x what the underlying assets are. I could be wrong now that we're doing this $2 billion offering, but it'd be interesting to track that on a daily basis when I pull up MicroStrategy, and I can tell you guys like, oh, we're running at 200%, we're running at 100% of their holdings, we're running at 50% of their holdings. That way you can, and I can tell you that that's undervalued, that's overvalued, I think right now. Just give you more to work with. Again, we broke down out of this previous support range on Mara. How clear was that, right? Like we hit it, hit it, go through it. There's this rule in technical analysis for people that don't know it, where the more you have a touch point, the greater the likelihood of breaking through it. Now, there is something with volumes too, right? Like you don't want to see declining volumes like you see down here in trading when you're getting towards a support line. Especially the way it was here, how it went from a big peak, a bounce. It was a beautiful bounce, but then it couldn't hold that in volume and no matter what, and so it just broke down really hard. Again, the biggest, most important asset is Bitcoin, but the underlyings on these are important too. And so we're still really low on Mara. Most of the miners look like this, but how much are we down? We're down 54%. That's a shit ton. I'm glad I bought the dip. We'll see how it goes. CleanSpark. And what was the market cap on that real quick? 4.38 billion. So not under 4 yet. But considering they're going to buy like another 250 million, I don't know. It seems undervalued to me. Even with the dilution. All right. So again, we're between a rock and I don't want to say a rock and a hard place. Kind of. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place with CleanSpark. I do think though that we found a nice bounce. Then we stopped at the fib, this green line. But then now we're trading up. We've dropped underneath the 200 moving average in orange, but now we're trading above it. So it would be great tomorrow to see us get up here because Bitcoin ran pretty good in after hours today. Cypher. And yeah, those, and I don't, here real quick, I'll talk to Cypher and then I'll go back to Gary's question about Tesla calls because I don't feel like I really answered it. I need to update this too. But Cypher up down 0.25%, still looking like it's holding that peak volume line and then right near the fib. I think this is a good buy zone, but I wish I would have sold some in the almost $7 range because it did have a good drop. I mean, it got cut in half. So that would have been cool, but whatever. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. All right, Gary, where you at? Jesse, given the political undertone, how should we play Tesla 330 calls? I'm kind of mad. I think it's a great value. So real quickly, let's just do this. Let's look at Tesla, the stock, and then let's pull up the current options contract. And again, I think I said I was like up 38% or something on mine. But if we look here, let's just mirror what I have here. So the 330, June 18th, 2026. Let's look at that. For 177 contracts. Let's see here. So Tesla, I got 2 more contracts. Let me put my number on there. All right, and then I'll keep the 500 level. I don't want to go up to the 900. Let's just pretend like Tesla has a harder time. And 500 is not that hard of a time, but we'll look at it. All right, so right now, if you bought these and Tesla does in the next year get to 330, which is the strike price, you're going to get a 200% gain off of a 67% increase. So it's about 3x or a 200% or a 3x return off of this investment, which is pretty good. But if it goes a lot higher, let's look over to Tesla here. If it goes over to where it was before, let's just say the 420 range from where it was a very long time ago. How many days was that? That was over 1,015 days ago when it was at the 420-ish range, actually 413. If it did that in the next year, what would you make? You would make about 430% off of 107% or a 4x return on your investment. And again, the number goes up the higher the amount gets, and then it goes down the further out you get because the time, the theta decay blows it away. But I think a 4x potential return and a year from now, if Tesla does really well, is a great thing personally. And I think it's likely to happen because, again, a year from now will be 365 days. So we'll be talking about 14 1400 days, which puts us, and this is not something everybody's seen because not everybody pays attention, right, to my stuff. But 1400 days, if you zoom back here to the 4 phases of Tesla's price that I talk about, and that I kind of I've quantified in a different video. It's a good one. You should check it out. It's like 4 phases of Tesla, price, continuation, whatever, something like that. But you can see here that this one right here was 146 days before we had our launch. And then our next one was 909. The next one, we had a little mini launch, but we got crushed by the Model 3 deliveries. Anybody that was in Tesla knows they just got fucked around that time. So they didn't go up as much, but they did trade in a slightly higher range and then back tested. So I call that phase 3. That took 917 days. So you got, again, a really quick one when they were young. That's kind of how things work when you're small. And then 909, then 917, and we're already at 1,015 right now in this consolidation. So to think that we'd go much past 1,400 days, I think is unrealistic, especially with all the growth that we're going to see, all the product deployments, all the ramp across everything that they do. So I think it's going to be, even with potential bad economic backdrops, unless we go to war with China, I think this is just a really good price. So that's my message to answer your question, Gary. Wow, that was a long one. Anyway, Albert, what are those beeps? I fixed them. Come on, Albert. No, I'm kidding. I'm reading an old note. Silas, X's influence is disproportionate to its size as it goes to the news aggregator. X's influence. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Because everybody's getting their news from X, and so the amount of influence it has, or at least where the narratives are derived from and where the information is being sourced from, is going up exponentially, even though the viewership and the usage is probably at a slower pace. I don't know if that's what you meant, dude, but I would agree with that totally. Silas, no road raging when the stream is done, please. I know you've got a ton of torque. Yeah, I try not to. I actually think I might have been going too fast earlier because a guy pulled up next to me and seemed to be screaming through his window. And then when I waved at him, he gave me the middle finger. So I don't know. You're right. I better slow down. Silas, those are FNCC beeps. Okay. All right. Off. That was just trading view, guys. Albert, let's hope. Okay, we got that one. Let me see. DLO earnings tomorrow. I will do the earnings call for DLO tomorrow, guys. Jesus, these beeps are loud. Sorry about that. At AB, are you holding shift at all? Albert, let's put it this way. The first time I heard beeps, I thought my laptop sound system, oh my God, I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, it should be fixed now. I'll try and make sure my alerts aren't triggering when we're going off. That's why I actually have a separate dedicated computer. I got a 46-inch monitor in the center. Then I've got my MacBook with the window open. Then I have a separate computer running 327-inch monitors. I usually have all my TradingView stuff on there, and that's where the beeps will go off. But sometimes if I have them, if I'm showing them to you, they can trigger on here. So I apologize. I try to make it to where that's not a thing, but I can only do so much. Albert, let's put it this way. Oh, no. Needs 55. Hit the like, folks. Yes, please, if you guys could. Trump president plus rate cuts is the best scenario for I would agree. I think, again, I voted for Biden last time. I can genuinely tell you I am biased this time, but I'm also brutally honest, if you guys know me. And if I thought that the stock market would do well with a Kamala presidency or Bitcoin or whatever, Tesla, I would tell you that. But I don't. I don't think they'll do well at all. And I'd love to be proven wrong. I would love for Kamala Harris not to be what I think she is. And I'll be the first to own up to it if that's true, if it's honest. Silas, what is the touch point in this context? Sorry, what touch point? Probably one of the charts that I was talking about. Srinivas Chaitanya, you must be Indian. I'm so bad with Indian names, even though some of my friends are Indian, so I apologize. But thank you, sir, for joining. For all you people that join, especially for the political stuff, like I said before, I get demonetized for all of my previous political content, even though, let me check right now and see if I've been demonetized for my pro-Kamala Harris, pro-communism rant. I have not. And it looks like, you know what? I should show this to you guys real quick. It looks like after disputing all the others, I'm getting some of my money back. So it looks like if you dispute it, it's working better. But yeah, so this blatant just stupid video that I created was all pro Kamala. It's the first one out of 5 political videos that I've made where I haven't been demonetized initially. And so that's interesting because the one here was demonetized. The one here with Donald Trump and Elon Musk interview was demonetized. And I gotten both of those back. And then it looks like the one down here, The Truth About Tim Waltz, that was really heavy. It still says that it's it remains fully playable. No, they already reviewed it, I think. They reviewed it and decided. So one of my videos, I've contested 4 of them, and one of them they're still saying no. But all 4 of those were initially rejected. So far, Kamala's doing good. Isn't that fascinating? So if I talk good about Kamala, it seems like I can trick the algo, just in the title and description, I can trick the algo into letting me play ball. That's pretty cool. All right, good to know. Good to know. I like to find systems and how to work around them. So this is fun. We like this. Let's take a look here. So I do want to talk. I have a couple of things with China real quick for you guys that are here. Oh yeah, this is fun. So this is just, this is too political. I'm gonna leave it alone. China's we'll do that in another one. I don't want to be overbearing. I feel like I already have been this time. China's manufacturers are going bust. Agath Demarias says. She said 30% of Chinese industrial firms are recording losses more than during the Asian financial crisis in 1998. You can see this, just the numbers are getting crazy for the recorded losses and the percentage of loss. It says public support is unlikely. Local governments are highly indebted. Central government calls for industrial consolidation. They do, but I do think that we're seeing money printing too. So I think that that's going to help. But China's falling apart. I've been saying it for a long time. What's funny now is a lot of other people are saying China's falling apart, and I'm starting to be like, guys, it is, but it's not going to be as quick as people are saying that it's going to be. Then it'll be furious. I think within a year plus, it could be a furious demise. And so I will be monitoring China very closely. Other stuff about bonds, whatever. We can skip that for now. PayPal, I do want to talk to this. So Crossroads, my buddy Roy, said that PayPal's PYUSD stablecoin is now the 7th largest stablecoin, 6th by some reckoning, depending upon which site you're looking at, with its market cap up more than 150% when it expanded on the Solana network. Over 6 million in volume on coin today, just with PYUSD. Good work, Ace and team. So I've said for a long time that people talk about PayPal not innovating, and they're literally creating their own stablecoin that will allow them to be able to lower prices substantially and maybe potentially replace credit cards in the future and not have to worry about a 2 to 3% fee having to be passed on, and being able to save customers money and also increase their own margins. I feel like that's a pretty big deal, but not everybody seems to. PayPal. Layoffs appear to be largely completed. They had a large amount of layoffs that they were doing. They had a great quarter last quarter, but the layoffs appear to be done, and the restructuring costs are starting to finalize, and this will help their numbers going forward. Thank you, Roy, again, for just another great post. Follow Roy Crossroads, guys. It's with a K. It's kind of weird when you look it up. He's a really great guy, and he puts out good work, and he's very devoted to PayPal. So if you're in that, you should be supporting him. PayPal's transactions, negative 16%, and credit losses, negative 22%, are way down. They cite Venmo improvements and recoveries and losses. Again, if there's anything Alex Chris from Intuit is good at, it is optimizing systems, identifying, removing silos. If anybody's been in big business or corporations or banks or any of this bullshit, healthcare, whatever, you know how siloed they are from technological stack standpoints and organizationally. And Alex Chris is good at cutting through that bullshit. So you better like him. PayPal, save the date. PayPal Fastlane likely to be the main topic, but I'd like to hear from the advertising business. It's on September 9th. We'll have Alex Chris talking in a Goldman Sachs conference. I am going to jot that down because I do want to get that on my calendar. So 9th, Sept, 10:50 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to get that on my calendar along with the DLO for tomorrow, guys. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, just me talking about how PayPal can do good and giving my target. I think that's all good. All right, chat. Thanks, Jesse. You're welcome, Gary. Hopefully that was a thorough and robust answer for you. Let me know if you have more questions. Silas, I mean, Twitter's influence is different than other social media platforms. It's clearinghouse for news and content creators. Yeah, it's a legit point, man. What do you mean by touch point? I'm sorry, which touch point did we talk about? Other social medias are more consumer content driven. So despite being smaller, Twitter has distinctly larger range. Yeah, it's smaller, but it's growing fast. Again, 13 million in a month is not a small number for growth. And the user base for unique monthly users. But I totally hear what you're saying, and I 100% agree. It's got reach. It's got reach because everybody has to source it, right? It's that clearinghouse of ideas. It's the truth. Even though the mainstream media constantly mocks it for being inaccurate, they have to go to it for news, and then they use it to validate news. If that doesn't speak to their own demise, I don't know what does. Again, if you guys can comment, if you can comment after the video, everything you do to share this helps me a lot. So I really appreciate you guys. I will work hard for you, I promise. Silas, that was that one. Needs 55. Jesse, any plans on doing a combined session macro with Tom Nash? I've actually been, have I done 2 videos with Tom? I feel like I've done 2. We could do it again. I'd be down with it. Mention it to him. I'll hit him up. He's actually my buddy, so we've chatted a few times, but when I was supporting Israel when it wasn't popular to do so, he kind of took me under my wing and said, "Hey guys, give this man some follows. He's losing a bunch of follows." And now I'm losing them because I'm getting political, which is funny. Maybe he'll save me again. But no, he's a really good guy. He's a really good guy, and I like him. And we look at things from a different perspective. And I think that's valuable. I want to get him into Bitcoin. I probably need to do a video with him to get him to realize that's a big deal. I have other people that have asked me to do stuff too, and maybe I should be doing it. I had a guy with political stuff that has 2 million followers that was asking me to be on his channel. I had Mario, I don't know, that one dude that's got like 1 million followers that wanted me to be on his channel. I get solicited a lot. Haley is another it's just a bunch of people, honestly. But I don't know. I'll probably do more. I should probably do more. Asaf, I know you're out of Intel. Do you think the price level is a good entry point, maybe with options? I might. What time is it? It's almost 4. I'm going to give you guys some stocks. I'm going to go back to the beginning here and give you guys some stocks. Political stuff brought more from your X to your YouTube. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I hope. Yeah, maybe. I hope more people. I don't know. I think I have relevant points politically too, and I hope people will listen to them. I can be pretty strongly worded and a little abrasive. Hopefully I don't know. Hopefully I do it right. All right, so let me go back. We're going to look at a few here. So I will take a look. Hey, Jesse, wondering why you picked January 2026 Hood calls. Oh, I did answer that, and I will pull up Hood real quick. Let's go through the rest of my stock list. Actually, Hood's up next anyway. And then I haven't looked at all the other macro stuff like the dollar, the gold, oil. I should probably do that right after this. So Hood looks beautiful, and I'm very glad I picked my January 2026 calls. Now, your question was, for Sanjay, your question was, wondering why I picked them because of the BTC cycle. And you said versus getting these earlier, like June of 2025. So that is a great question. I wanted more time with Hood. And I also said that in chat, for people that didn't see it, that I actually believe that people have a lesser understanding of how much Robinhood is going to be impacted by the Bitcoin cycle. And so it gives me, I think, a little more time, and I have less volume to worry about for my exit. So I feel like getting the January 2026, even though it's after the Bitcoin cycle, most likely by several months, people won't realize that as soon. And so I can buy myself a little extra time and be able to dial out, maybe more appropriately for where I want to, without the risk that a miner would have, where people are like, oh, this is a Bitcoin miner. If the cycle's coming to an end, it's going to go down. I don't know that everybody automatically thinks of that with Robinhood, but I do think that's the case. So I picked January 2026, and I bought some of those. And what are we doing? Looks like we're up a whole 1.5%. Again, this is an example. Well, I actually did really good with Robinhood. I was going to say I've sold out of my 2025s. I think I was up 500 or 600% on this one. I don't know. A bunch of you guys sold when I did. You could say in chat how much money you made. But I made a ton of money off of Robinhood. That's one of many examples, like Matterport, Square, Palantir, Meta, Tesla, just a bunch of different stock options where I've made just shit tons of money. That was one of them. So, but the 2026s I think are really good too. It's a 35 strike. And here's what I love about it, just so you guys know. So this is beautiful. Look at this fucking wick. So this could have been a head and shoulder, they call it, where you got a left shoulder, head, and then maybe it turned into a right shoulder, and then it broke down. That would suck. But the measured move basically already happened. And then we found support off of previous resistance levels all the way over here. So it's just gorgeous. And all I need to have happen is it to go up 84%, which I think is nothing. In order to be able to get to my strike. So let's see what happens with Robinhood for the calls that I picked, if it does that. And I think I did this in a members only video. Maybe I didn't. Maybe this was just in another market recap. But let's look. So January, I think I had the 35 strike. We'll confirm that in a second. What dollar amount did I have? I had 200 contracts, 35 strike. And I bought them for 203. So let's just look here. And that's what I forgot to do in the last one. Should have done that. I should have put in what I actually had, because I think the Tesla calls are actually probably even better for the return, but I didn't update manually, and maybe it was already right, but I didn't check the price per option. That's important. So let's look at Robinhood for where we think it can go, right? So I actually think that it wouldn't be crazy for it to go to $77. That might sound crazy to you, but this company is growing like crazy. And when the hype cycle does kick in, we'll see a massive boost. So that is a crazy looking number. So I think we can go anywhere between like 40 and 78, right? That's a variance, a decent variance. It's a doubling, right? But I think that that's pretty likely to happen. And here's the reason why I think that's likely to happen. A, it's only a $16 billion market cap. And if we look at something like Coinbase, and again, they're not as big as them yet, but their revenues are going to look pretty sick soon. Coinbase is 50 billion. So if this thing just did what I was talking about and went all the way up to here, it would be not crazily far off from that 60 billion number or something like that. If it got all the way up into the 80s range. But let's say it goes between 40 and 80. Let's put this number up here. And just look at what kind of return we get for where we are right now. This is why this is fascinating to me. So if it got to 40, and we got until January. So let's say that happened a year from now. I would make 400% off of a 116% move. So about 3.5x the underlying in returns. So I could make $156,000 off of what I put in, which is, get up here, $40,000. But let's say that it does something crazy and it gets like up to 60 a year from now. Then I make 1,200% off of 225, which is a 6x in returns. And then if it got really nuts and it hit its previous all-time high, even in January, 15, 16 months from now, if it hit that, a 330%, let's just say a 300% from where we're at, would get me 1,821% in return. So again, around a 6x, $750,000 off of 40. So these numbers can get really weird if the market takes off like I think it's going to, which is why I kind of like that trade, right? And again, so hopefully I justified too why I like this more than the Bitcoin miner play, because it's not as direct and people won't understand it as well. I already talked about Palantir. I hope I might miss some here, guys. If I do, I'm sorry. We would see a massive exodus from the stock market and sell off like we haven't seen since COVID-19 in March of 2020 or Great Depression. All right, I better read what Albert's talking about here. Albert says, "Hi, Jesse. Your video of Vivek talking about Kamala's plan for unrealized gains tax game." And so here's the thing. A lot of food for thought. Would Kamala's election, please no, be a massive sell signal? It could be. So that's, if you guys haven't seen my Vivek video, you need to see it. It is really good. It talks about how the Biden administration, including Kamala Harris, worked to try and see if they could get enough favor in the House and then Senate in order to be able to push a bill that push through unrealized capital gains taxes. Now, that is something that's very Elizabeth Warren. It's with her direction. She wants to do this. She wants to go after people like Elon Musk. She wants to go after rich, successful companies or just very successful companies and force the owners of all companies, not just Elon Musk, but anybody and owners of any investment where they haven't sold their investment. She wants to force them to sell it every year so they can tax the fuck out of them. And then at the same time, Biden was talking about taxing capital gains at 40%. So and I don't think the unrealized gains would have been that. It would have probably been like 15%. So if you didn't sell and you just own a stock or you're the primary shareholder or something in a stock in a company, you would have to sell out of that every year if you didn't have extra money that you could take and then pay your taxes. So you would have to liquidate your company every year to the government to be able to support yourself. Whether you sell or not. So if you believe in a company, you don't sell it, right? That's the premise of America and how we were founded in regard to like these stock markets and investing and capitalism. It's benefited us greatly in the last several hundred years. But now these guys want to stray away from that because Kamala Harris had a father who teaches Marxist economics, basically communism from an economic standpoint. He believes more in the system coming from China and Russia and what devastated, Venezuela and what devastated Argentina and what devastated so many other communist countries over time, Cuba and all these others. You could talk about sanctions too, whatever. I'm not going there. But it's never worked. And that's what her father believed. That's probably what he taught her. That's why she talks about equity and all this other stuff. Anyway, outside of that, those are policy things. Those are my big fears because Vivek Ramaswamy was saying, like, all we have to go off of is what she's said and what she's done. And I hold a greater weight to what she's done. And that tells me the direction she's most likely going to take is what she's said strongly and what she's done. And when what she's said and done have lined up in the past, unless she gives us a really substantial reason for wanting to change that, it's a little scary. And then also she wanted to do things like banning private insurance, private health care. And then she was also for the Green New Deal, where they wanted to, by 2030, get rid of air travel in the United States and force people to be able to take like mass transit across state lines to be able to save on emissions. And that was just one of many things. I think it would have been really bad. And then at the same time, she wanted a $4 trillion stimulus bill when Biden only got a $1 trillion stimulus bill. So I just want people to understand actual policies for what Kamala has represented and what I believe she's going to represent in the future based upon her own actions and what she's told us. And we'll see how much that changes. But here's the thing. If it changes dramatically, shouldn't we expect her to tell us why? Why did it change so dramatically? Why do you feel so strongly about what you're doing right now? I hope that she goes on X and interviews with Elon Musk because I feel like these are things that we should have answers to for our democracy's sake and for our markets. Because if we don't have them and she does some of the things I think she's going to do, it could give us a Great Depression. That's Vivek's theory. And he says that while trying not to be partisan. He even said that Bitcoin and crypto, he believes and he hopes that Kamala Harris will support both of those in order to be able to help America and make it great and not be partisan. And I hope he's right. But if those things happen, what's the change? Why did we go from crypto for Harris to Harris for crypto? I think we should know that. That's just me. All right, let me see here. I know you're out of Intel. Maybe I'll go to Intel. Yeah, so that's my thought, Albert. Jesse just focused on the TAS and powered through on that Kamala. Yeah, I totally lied for 15 minutes about my views. And I in that video, I literally was preaching how communism and not having to think for ourselves was great. And I dropped F-bombs like crazy. I talked about how we should be more like the UK and suppressing free speech. I talked about how we should jail Elon Musk. I talked about so many really horrible things. And I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid because it's Kamala. So, gotta love it. Gotta love this country we live in where you can be censored if you have the wrong view. Isn't that wonderful? We should all hope for that. All right. Let me see. ETN, please. Eaton Electric Grid Expansion. Yeah, I can take a look at it, dude. Here we go. Um, oh, and real quickly before I do that, I do want to show the fundamentals for Hood. I didn't show that when I was showing you the options, but just look at some of this. Monthly active users isn't super great for last quarter. It's still kind of low. But remember, these guys ramped a bunch of old people that have massive IRAs. Those people aren't going to be as active. They'll sit on shit for like a year sometimes, right? But look at the revenue increases for this company. It is 42% increase year over year for revenue growth, and then profit growth is 675%. I would say that's pretty good, especially with the PE only at 29.91, which actually dropped after their last earnings because it was so good. And then when you look at assets under custody, it's just increased so much. And the crypto portion of that is going to increase a lot. Here's what I wanted to show you. If you look over here, you can see the crypto part got quite a bit bigger. It's big now, but it should expand out quite a bit more, maybe 200% more, or more than that. So it's going to be very interesting. I love that the average revenue per user too has just been climbing since Q1 of 2022. Net income positive, $188 million in net income on a quarter when they made $688 million is not a bad number. These guys are just doing it right. No debt, not heavy share dilution. Hopefully getting positive cash flow in the future, lowering expenses, and then creating new products, expanding around the world. Lots of great metrics on here too, guys. If you look, Alejandro's done a great job on visualstocks.com when it comes to Robinhood. He's done it a service. So, yeah, you guys should check that out. All right, let me go over here. What was I looking at? ETN, please, Eaton, electric grid expansion theme. I'm going to try that real quick over here and see if I can pull it up from a fundamental standpoint. So let's look. So electric grid expansion. I don't know what else you have in regard to that. If you have anything else you want to tell me about it, it's great. I would appreciate it. Forward PE is 27.47. We're seeing revenue growth. It looks like that's gotten better. It looks like 2018-19 it was higher. Really kind of flat for years. 2013 to 19, kind of a ghost town. The pandemic obviously hurt them, but then they've been climbing out of it, and net income is looking better and better. They've been buying back shares. Cash is building up when debt is kind of the same. It went up a little bit went down a little bit this last quarter, but that looks good. Highest cash and bond levels, 2.12 billion in bonds. That's pretty cool. So they're earning some interest off of that. Expenses haven't really went up a lot. They're starting to go up though with income. Cash flow looks good. It doesn't look like a bad company. I wish the revenue growth was more than single digit. Let's see if anybody's been buying it, and then we'll look at the technicals. Buying and selling, more selling than buying if we go just back to early 2023, at least since then. So, not really. I love it when people are buying their own stock. It just makes me feel more confident. Not a crazy thing, though. Only 1% short interest. That's not even worth looking at. Institutional ownership hasn't really grown. Let's look down here at our little globe. Institutions are huge into this, though, and it has no retail footprint at all in blue here. It's really tiny. So let's look at estimates. Are they guiding higher? EPS looks better. Revenue's continuing to go up and inching its way up. That's pretty good. I mean, it looks like this company is executing and doing things well. I do like this. I always like an operating margin or an operating leverage where you see the revenue going up and you see costs not really going up. That's a sign of a well-run company. Now let's look at it. So, but it's not super cheap. It's 27.47. It's not horrible. Let's see what they actually. Let's just check here real quick and see how they've done. I will make a copy. I'll do ETN and just see how they've done from a stock standpoint. Maybe the technicals look really good because the fundamentals. Oh yeah, wow, nice bounce. Woo, that's a pretty bounce, dude. That's a hell of a wick right there on the weekly. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, that's a pretty strong bounce. So appear to be finding support really for the first time since we broke above this in October of 2022, or I should say we've tested down underneath the 200 moving average. Really steep drop, and we bounced up. So we will probably, I say without knowing this company really, really well, just looking at the financials, again, only so much information. It had a 26% drop. It seems like we've got a continuation pattern here. I will pull up a fib extension so that you guys can see this. Why am I? Okay, there we go. Jesus, what was I doing? So let's just look here real quick and see what that looks like. Just give me 1 second, guys, and then I'll look at your nodes. So this is the March. This is the pandemic. That's where I draw the bottom. Then I go to the top of kind of what we saw in 2021, I think, before the Fed raised rates. November 2021, October 2021, before the Fed got really crazy. We're still underneath resistance here. Could we have a rollover? Yes. But if we settle above the 299, like 300 range and turn that into support, even for a day, I would expect this thing to hit its new high of 344 or its previous all-time high and maybe make a run to the 382 range. That's just based off of technicals and what I saw in the financials, which is not everything. Sela says, Eaton is a serious company. I ask about it to put it on the radars of my buddies in here more than anything else. It does, the financials look good, and the technicals, I think, look pretty good if it can get above a 300 and close a day that way. Then I would agree that it could have a pretty good run. You know me, I like more ambitious things, but that's true, I think. I got a little bit of wake-up juice hanging out with you guys. That's good. I made 330% on hood calls, says Dougie Fresh 69. Cool, dude. That's not bad at all. That is admirable. Alex Garcia said I made 250%. So I think I did outperform some of you guys, but that's probably just because I got in earlier than you. So I get a bonus from that, right? Not always. Sometimes I fuck it up. Like Matterport, where I only doubled my money and there were people around that got 300%, 400%, 500% because they weren't as ambitious and didn't go as far out of the strike zone. So sometimes people beat me hands down, and that was the time my followers did way better than me. All right. Needs 55. Love the education. Thanks, Jesse. You rock. You're welcome, sir. C-list, crazy thing is a major stock market depression would occur if we had an unrealized gains tax. This would harm the elderly and it would fuck people like my parents. It would probably fuck my brother and people that are my age in their 40s pretty bad too. It would be devastating to the older generation to do something like that. It would be insane to do, but it's something that the Democratic Party has talked about for a while. And it seems to be back on the radar again with the most liberal ticket we've seen that I can remember my entire life. Isn't that crazy? But nobody gives a shit. Hopefully enough people do. Alex Garcia, I ran away from socialism in Spain. Please, let's not have that shit here in the USA. Alex, I 100% agree with you, dude. C-list, about 50% of Americans have stock market exposure. Most Americans are affected by it in one way or another. Only Australia has higher proportion of the population invested. Everybody's invested in America. So if we saw a flight out of that, it would be a downward spiral like Ray Dalio talks about all the time. It would probably make the Great Depression look better for a lot of countries. I don't know about for us because we could print like fucking crazy. So they could destroy us while making me even richer. It might not happen initially. I mean, we could see a 50, 60, 70, 80% draw, and then just a wicked bounce of wealth for people who own assets, especially like Bitcoin. But it's just so hard to gauge because you could see global liquidity contract really hard at a time where it's not supposed to. So, I don't know, man. I hope we don't go down that path, dude. I really hope people are smart enough. I'm trying to tell people that have bigger followings, like my buddy. I say buddy Farazad because I spend time watching him, but he probably doesn't even know who the fuck I am. But I'm trying to get people like this who are talking about voting for Robert F. Kennedy to understand that not only will they maybe be throwing their vote away, and I get it, man. The whole, like, let's not vote for a two-party system, I get that. I have felt that way, especially when I was younger. But I saw my vote go towards, get wasted, and then I saw things not turn out so well. This time, I think, is one of the most pivotal elections in history based upon where we are economically, and I don't think enough people understand that, which scares me. If Kamala wins, buy Bitcoin. If Kamala wins, buy Bitcoin, but maybe after a 50% contraction like we saw during the COVID pandemic. So if we see 50 to 60% drop in Bitcoin from where we are at that time, then maybe more over a very short period of time, maybe weeks or less, then you should buy Bitcoin. But the question is, will you be able to? Will you be able to? I will probably be hedging and potentially purchasing some bonds or something that might provide some resilience, or just stacking some cash if things really outperform, if anything outperforms in the next couple of years. You voted for Ralph Nader in 2000. Good job, man. You saved the world. See, that's what that third party vote did, man. Good job. Westman, heard love. All right. So I think, so ETN looks okay. What was the other? Somebody had something else. I'll try and look at it real quick if I can. Otherwise, I'm probably going to bail. SRPT, Kite said. Okay, I can look at that, dude. Let me look at it from the financial standpoint first. And let me fix something real quick here. My stupid OLED. I've got this OLED LED. It's so cool because it's so bright and just vivid. Probably not good for my eyes, but I hate the fact it does this auto dimming thing that's like impossible to remove without going into like the OS on the TV and our monitor, and I ain't fucking doing that. I'm too old for that shit. SRPT, Sarepta Therapeutics. I was registered in Utah. My vote was not going to matter. Yeah, I kind of live in a state like that too, so I get it. It's like you can yeah, it's like it's a complete waste of energy, but it makes you feel better. I get it. I get it. At least it sends a message in that case. Sarepta Therapeutics. It's when you're in a swing state that I think you just can't do that, right? If you're in a swing state that's definitely going to be impactful, or could be very impactful in the election, then I think you owe your country a service to not focus so much on third party and focus on whichever of the two candidates you believe in. And I would hope the Marxist communist one wouldn't be it. This is an amazing company. Wow. I mean, I can't totally say that. There's some dilution. Looks like they step up every once in a while in shareholder dilution. They are burning down a little bit in cash. But the revenue growth is pretty good, 39% year over year. Forward PE is not great. It's 67.57. But let's see what the estimates are. What are we guiding towards? Wow. Nice revenue growth. EPS continuing to be positive. Do we see anybody buying the stock? No, but damn, they bought the dip in 2021 and 2022 and a little bit in 2023. So you could see maybe less capital being able to be allocated towards this, but still buying the dip, right? Like maybe they bought too hard over here, but still interesting. And then you could see little amounts too in 2023. So they really did a little bit of selling, but probably just because they had to, because they bought so hard over here, right? Just at a glance, that's interesting. And then the short interest spiked really hard, and wow, that's interesting. It spiked really hard in 6/28/2024, but then it started to plummet down. This is very volatile for such a shorter time frame. That's interesting. Just keep that in the back of my head. Stock-based comp is almost 14% of revenue. That's a little high. Seems like a new company. I used to own Sarepta years ago. I got bored waiting. Yeah, then you look just like the insiders, right? I mean, you laughed. Maybe they did too right around here. Or at least they had to start to, right? I can see that. All right. From a technical level, so it's biotech, but at least this biotech has fucking revenue. God, everybody posts biotechs that just have nothing whatsoever. Drives me mad. SRPT. Let me do that in caps. SRPT. All right, I'm going to save that one. So that's interesting. It's interesting that this one just looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like a horrible biotech. It's just like total speculation. Now let's look at the stock, though. Huh. You can actually see like different ranges of price action, like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Let me see something real quick. Just out of my own curiosity. How long are these phases? 1,700 days. Ooh, I can see why you got bored, bro. 1,700 days. Fascinating. Way over 1,700 days. 2,200 days. So, I mean, we look overdue, but again, you also have a valuation that I would say is maybe higher than it should be. So it's not cheap, but it does look like it could go higher. I mean, you got this volume base over here that we're finding. It's like an Adam and Eve pattern. What would the measured move be on this? Let's just say from up here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. To here. Let's just say that. And then let's put that right about here, roughly. Let's be conservative. So maybe the 372 range, if the broader market does really good, and as we've said, 1,700, 2,200 days is a massive amount of time. This is looking at the weekly chart. So how quickly will this happen? I mean, it looks like when it does make the break, it's pretty freaking quick, man. Look at these moves here in June of 2012. By the time we hit October of 2012, we went from $259 to $46. That's crazy. And then over here, let's just say the range was with most of the volume. We went from $40 to $175. Let's just say it started right about here. So September 17th or 2017 to June 2018. So when it moves, it can happen in a year, but this has been a long amount of time. So I don't know. It looks interesting. It looks like a real company. It looks like it's overvalued, but not crazily overvalued. If I knew more about it, maybe I would be more excited about it, but it's not, it doesn't look like a bad choice. All right. I think we're dropping off people. We only got 208 people right now. So I think this is a good place to stop it. It's about an hour and a half in my normal routine. So I'm going to probably head out here and spend some time with my family. And I'm glad I got a little bit of energy. Hopefully I provided value today. If you guys, again, when you leave, if you could, if you haven't liked, if you could throw a comment real quick in here for the algo, if you could throw a comment after the video for the algo, all those things are helpful. I'm going to go ahead and play us out here with a tune. And today wasn't really a buy in the dip kind of day. So I don't know. Let's just say, let's go out the way we came in. We're going to go out with the robots taking our jobs because I think Elon's getting ready to crush it. And I think as Trump gets elected, which I expect him to do, I think that Tesla's going to the moon, Bitcoin's going to the moon, and America's going to the moon. So I'm going to play this shit. Here we go. You guys take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. Probably do a political video tomorrow, probably a non-sarcastic parody. And I'll also update people on X and let them know how well Kamala Harris worked. So you guys take it easy, and thank you for everybody that contributed to names, too, for my new political session. I'm going to pick one here by tomorrow and let the person know who won. You guys take it easy. Peace out. Love you all. Have a good day.
Optimus, the robotic humanoid under development by Elon Musk's Tesla Inc., is sparking concerns around job security.
This is not financial advice, silly.
Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Turned up to work and went to start my day. Was barely late, like 9:08. So took my coffee break. Then I got hungry, so I just stopped by the free buffet. But then to my dismay, I heard somebody say, "That's an instrument you have lost. You have not met your quota. Pack your belongings in a box. Now it's over." Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. But I'm in management. I work hard every day. I need these benefits. Health and 401k. How could they do this shit though? Where will I trade my crypto? I had a second monitor for Twitter. Where will it go? Somebody please stop the bus. I mean, not the fuss, but there's lots of us. And now you say you won't pay me to play ping pong because Optimus. I mean, who employs a damn humanoid? Some new droid for you to exploit. Deploy to destroy your human droid. No lunch breaks, great. Get a few deployed. Your time is up, human inferior to me. I'll take it from here, you're relieved of your duty. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon, he's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job, I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon, I'm a Twitter thread guy. Make pretty pictures with Midjourney on your new PC. Or make some YouTube videos about ChatGPT. Sucker. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got. Robot just stole my job. I'm there like, oh my god. I blame it on Elon. He's taking all I got.